How to make my lemon and raspberry cake with lemon buttercream frosting, raspberries inside and in the jam that is delicious. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're making one of my favourite, fruitiest and lovely cakes ever, which is of course my lemon and raspberry cake. It's just a really light sponge with lemon throughout using lemon zest. I then use lemon juice in the buttercream. You've got fresh raspberries in the sponges, raspberry jam, everything you can dream of in just the loveliest cake possible. And the ingredients are really simple as well. And yeah, let's just make one of the best cakes ever. Starting off, I always use baking spread or unsalted butter. It looks like quite a lot, but honestly either works. I'd just use a cheap butter if you can. Save some money on the baking. After you've added your butter to a bowl, I grab my caster sugar. I use caster sugar for most cakes because it's your most standard sugar, but you can use golden caster sugar if you prefer. Once your butter and your sugar are in your bowl, make sure to beat them together until nice and creamy. Once your butter and your sugar are creamed together and they're nice and fluffy, you have to add in your eggs and your flour and your lemon zest. I tend to use medium eggs in my baking, and the best way you can work out how many eggs you need is to weigh your eggs in their shells. Say for example, you weighed 7 medium eggs and it equaled 403 grams, then use 403 grams of the butter, the sugar and the flour. It may vary if you're using large eggs, but just try and aim for about 400 grams if you can. And once you've added in your flour and your eggs, add in your lemon zest. If you don't use lemon zest, you can use lemon extract. I'd use about 2 teaspoons. And then once it's all mixed, you can add in your fresh raspberries and fold them through. Once all your ingredients are in the bowl, it is quite a lot of mix, so I have a handy little trick of using some cling film to make sure all of the ingredients stay in the bowl. Of course, if you're not worried about cross-contamination with ingredients, you can just use a wet tea towel, for example, as that all helps soak up anything that's flying around, or you can just add things in really slowly, and then that means you haven't got any mess. Once your mixture is all ready, it will be lovely and thick, and you know, I would eat it now, but honestly the baked cake is better than the cake mix. But you need 3 8-inch tins. I use loose bottom ones. They're quite deep, but I just use these sort of tins as standard anyway. But I'll make sure to line the bottom, split the mixture between 3 and then bake in my preheated oven. Once they've baked, I leave them to cool in the tins for 10 minutes and then I'll cool them fully on a wire rack, and then we're ready to decorate. Now that my sponges have cooled completely on my wire racks, it's very important to make sure they're cooled completely, otherwise you might have a bit of a cake sloppy mountain, and nobody wants that. But once they are, we can crack on with the decoration. I'm basically making an American buttercream frosting of just unsalted block butter with icing sugar, and I'm going to flavour that with some lemon juice from the lemons I zested, and I'm going to add in some jam, some freeze-dried raspberries, fresh raspberries, and just layer up this beautiful 3-layer cake. And I'm so excited for you to try it too. I realise I'm in a different outfit, it's a different day, it's 2 days later, but I had a bit of an emergency, so I had to pause on the cake, but don't worry, I'm back to decorate the cake and to now also show you that you can actually continue to decorate your cake at least 2 days later, if not longer, because your buttercream can last, your cakes can freeze, and then you can crack on like nothing happened. So just for the tips, just so you know, all my sponges are cooled fully, and then I stacked them with parchment paper in between, double wrap them in cling film, and then a piece of foil, and then they can freeze for up to 3 months. I then thaw mine still wrapped until they're at room temperature, and then they're ready to decorate. And my buttercream, I just stored it in the fridge, let it come back to room temperature, and then I'm going to remix it till it's nice and fluffy, and then it's ready to decorate with my other ingredients like fresh raspberries, raspberry jam, freeze-dried raspberries, and some lemon zest, because we all know I take it too far. But honestly, don't worry if you ever have to take a break in the middle of a bake, you can always freeze anything. But if you have any questions on that, leave them in the comments below and I will try and answer every single one of them if you need. Fill me buttercream. That is how you make my really impressive showstopper lemon and raspberry cake. Just look at how fresh it is, how delicious, and it's definitely going to be one of your new favorites, but honestly, you'll love it. So make sure to check out the full recipe in the description box below. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments as well, because I will respond to them. And of course, I hope you come back next time for something else delicious, because you know, they're all my favorite recipes, so I'm going to definitely show you something else. Enjoy!